Hi, it's Avram Goldhar, and welcome to episode number 3 of the Daf Yomi series. Good news, you can now go to a website, rememberyourlearning.com, and that's where I'm posting all the videos. So rememberyourlearning.com, tell everybody about it. Okay, yesterday I mentioned the idea that if you can remember anything, ultimately you can remember everything. You just have to go step by step. And obviously, macro to micro, getting the big picture first is the key. So I mentioned yesterday as well, you should really map out a Masechta. We did that for the first parak in the first episode with the Mishnayos, but let's broaden our horizons. Let's get an overall map of the Masechta. And this gives us two important features to our memory. A, we know where we're going. We have a layout and a foundation to what the Masechta is going to be dealing with. So I think that's pretty obvious. The second major benefit of doing this is it plants seeds. Meaning many people, when they learn a daf or they learn anything, they're learning everything all at once for the first time new. And your mind isn't really prepared for what's coming, and you just sort of get yourself into whatever you have to focus on, which is fine. But I do believe it's better to sort of have an idea of what's coming, and even if you have no idea really what it's dealing with, we planted a seed. And we become curious about that. Like, what are we going to deal with when we get there in that topic? So when you get there, your mind is more ready and interested and engaged in now starting to fill in the details. So here we go. We're going to get a map of brachas. And I want to thank a good friend, Shraga, for encouraging me to do this episode today. I was going to get to it, but to do it today, because it makes sense, we're starting out. Let's map out the Masechta. And this is definitely something that you can remember. You just have to review it, and we'll talk about that. But you can review it, you can know it, and clearly if you can remember this, then you're good to go on the next level. So here we're going to go with the map of Masechta's brachas. Okay, here we are with the Masechta map, and I'm going to do this both in Hebrew and English. And whatever language is most comfortable for you, that's what you should do. And you shouldn't use this time for your Hebrew development skills. If you're not fully comfortable, don't put your energy here on the Hebrew. You'll put it other places. But for simanim and rememory, whatever comes most easily, that's to your advantage. Okay. Before I actually do the outline, I'm going to say one thing, one caveat, which is this is my outline, meaning this is what I use to help me remember the Masechta. There are many ways one can organize the Masechta, Shivim Panim LaTorah. You may come up with better ways, more correct ways. You can change it. But if it helps you, great. And by all means, come up with your own outline or revise as you see fit. But I think this is going to be helpful nonetheless to get us going. Okay, there are 9 prakim in the Masechta, and we're first going to deal with the big pieces of the Masechta, and then we'll go parak by parak. So the Masechta can be divided into 3 main sections. The first 3 prakim deal with the saying of the Shema. The first 3 prakim are the Shema. The next 2 prakim, Dalet and Hey, deal with tefillah, or prayer. Specifically, that's referring to the Shemona Esrei. And the last 4 prakim, Vav, all the way down to Tes, deal with brachas. Various topics relate to brachas. 6 through 9 deals with all the different blessings. So that's the overview, the big pieces of the Masechta. The first 3 prakim are the Shema. Next 2 are tefillah, prayer. And the last 4 deal with the various blessings, the various brachas that we say. So 3, 2, 4. So let's do a little review. Here I go with a little test. Quiz you. The first 3 prakim deal with the Shema. The next 2 deal with the tefillah. And the last 4 deal with brachas. There you go. Okay, now, if you got that down and organized for the Masechta, I don't think that's so hard. I know you can do it. Then great, you have the key or a map for the entire Masechta right there. And again, we'll eventually get this hopefully for all the Masechtas in Shas. So you have the entire table of contents clear. So you're always in the ballpark to know where to look and which topic is really the Iker topic in the prakim and which topics are brought in but really belong somewhere else primarily. So 3, 2, 4. Good. Now let's go through the topics within each parak. And again, this is very broad and is not dealing with daf per daf. But again, I think it's going to be helpful nonetheless. So let's go to the top. The first parak of the first 3 prakim deal with the Shema covers primarily Masai Ma. Like when you say the Shema and what do you actually say? What do you include? The brachas, Yetzias Mitzrayim, the Exodus, and so on. The second parak, parak base, deals with kavana, right? The intention you should have when you say, if you're reading Chumash and you happen to be saying the Shema, do you need kavana there? Various issues related to things that can interrupt your kavana and issues kavana related to saying the Shema. And the last parak of the 3, here we are, I'm sorry with my cursor, is the B'turim, people who are exempt, cases when you're exempt from saying the Shema, who's exempt, or situations when you're exempt, so exemptions from the Shema. So when and what, the Kavana, and exemptions. The first three. Then we get to Tefillah, the next two prakim. Dalet deals again with when do you say the various tefillahs during the day, what do you actually say, and how you say it, like if you're riding, or you're riding somewhere, you're in a boat. So when, what, and how. The next parak Hey, deals with kavana, proper intentions, how the Hasidim Rishonim, with people were prepared for a long time to get their kavana up and so on. We're going to have issues related to kavana. So again, this is the basic klalim of when, what, and how. And then the second parak, the fifth parak here, dealing with tefillah, deals with kavana, proper intentions. And the last four prakim deal with topics related to brachos. Parak Vav deals with making brachos on food. Parak Zayin is Berachos Hamazon and making a zimun when we introduce Berachos Hamazon as a group. Parak Ches is Kiddush Netilas Yadayim and Havdalah. So it's Kiddush, washing, and Havdalah. Washing here doesn't mean general washing for eating. And then the last parak Tes, deals with various brachas, a variety of different brachas that we say. So that is the overview of the Masechta. So let's do it from the top one more time. So that is an outline of the Masechta. All right. So I'm going to do a quick little review, and you can just watch this part until you get it down. But here we go. Let's get it down from this point. So the first parak deals with when and how you say the Shema. The second parak deals with issues of kavana, and the third parak deals with exemptions, when one is patur from saying the Shema. The next two prakim deal with tefillah, deal with when, what do you say, and how do you say it, the Shemona Esrei, and then we get back to kavana as well. And the fifth parak related to the Shemona Esrei. The last four prakim deal with blessings on foods. Zayin deals with Berachos Hamazon and Zimun. Ches is Kiddush Netilas Yadayim and Havdalah. And Parak Tes is various brachas. So that is the outline of the Masechta. And I'm going to create a PDF so you can just download it, print it up, and I would put in your Masechta as an overview. And if you look at this every single day, within a few days you'll know this. I would say, put a little energy in, put down the paper, or don't read the article online, and just look at this, get this down. This is your map. And if you can remember this, then you'll be able to remember much more step by step.